Oh, today we're digging into Apple, stock ticker AAPL, of course.
Yep. We've got analysis looking at, well, both sides of the coin, really. The technicals, the charts, the patterns.
Right, and the fundamental story. How's the actual business doing?
Exactly.
And our mission today is basically to unpack what our deep dive into these sources reveals about, well, what's driving Apple right now and maybe where it's headed. Make sense of it for you.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting, I think, is how the technical picture the sources lay out seems to line up really well with the fundamental strength.
Okay, so start us off with the technicals then. What's the big picture there?
Well, the analysis shows that if you look back, say, to December 2021, Apple's been in a pretty clear long-term uptrend.
Okay.
It's moving in what analysts call an ascending channel. So think higher highs and higher lows consistently on the weekly chart.
Got it. So a structured upward move, not just noise.
Right.
There was a key moment recently, right? Back in April.
Yeah, exactly. Just this past April, 2025, the stock took a dip.
A pretty significant one.
It tested the low point from back in April 2024. That was around the $170 mark.
Okay, $170. And the sources see that as a key level.
Definitely. They call it a strong demand zone. Basically a price where buyers have historically shown up in force.
And did they show up this time? I mean, the bounce from $170, was it convincing?
Oh, yeah. That's the crucial part. It bounced with ultra high volume. That signals really strong buying interest,
High volume. Okay. Anything else make that bounce significant?
Yes, and this is important. It bounced right as the price touched the lower trend line of that long-term ascending channel we mentioned.
Ah, okay. So multiple things lining up.
Exactly. You've got the previous low acting as support, you've got the massive volume, and you hit that key channel trend line. The sources call that a confluence zone.
A confluence zone. So it reinforces that $170 level as really strong support.
Precisely. The stock respected it.
Yeah.
And now, with the price hovering around, what, $203?
Yeah, about $203 currently.
The technical structure, based on this bounce and the channel, suggests we could see another higher high, maybe pretty soon.
Okay, but what about momentum? Is it getting overheated?
Good question. The analysis points to the weekly RSI, the relative strength index. It's actually still below 50.
Below 50, so that means...
It suggests that while the price is climbing, the momentum isn't extreme yet. There's potentially still room for it to run higher before you'd call it overbought.
Right. And do the sources give any specific targets based on this technical setup?
They do. Based on the channel and recent action, they're flagging potential targets. First one around $240.
Okay.
Then possibly $260. And the third one, which would be testing the top of that channel, is up around $290.
$240, $260, $290.
Got it. So the technical picture looks pretty constructive.
It does, but, technicals alone aren't the whole story.
Yeah.
This is happening alongside a really robust fundamental picture.
Okay, let's bridge to that then. What's the underlying business story supporting this? Well, fundamentally, our deep dive shows Apple's in great shape. Q2 2025 results, for instance, were strong. They actually beat expectations.
Even with talk of iPhone sales maybe slowing a bit.
Yeah, there was a slight slowdown there, but it was more than offset by a really big surge in services revenue.
Ah, the services story. That's huge for them, right? Shows diversification.
Absolutely. It proves how powerful that ecosystem is. It's not just about the hardware cycles anymore.
And looking ahead, what are the sources pointing to on the fundamental side? What's driving optimism?
A lot of focus is on the upcoming AI features. iOS 19.
AI, yeah. Everyone's talking about AI.
Right. And Apple's angle seems to be focusing on things investors like. On-device processing, good for privacy and speed, and features that boost real-time productivity.
Makes sense. What else?
Well, you can't ignore the financials. They're continuing that really aggressive share buyback program.
Which boosts the earnings per share, right, and signals confidence.
Exactly. It helps EPS, and it tells the market management thinks the stock is undervalued. Plus, the sheer cash generation is, enormous. Over $50 billion in free cash flow.
Wow.
Yeah, and rising dividends, too. The sources really paint a picture of an unmatched ecosystem, calling it a long-term fundamental beast.
A fundamental beast. Okay, so that underlying strength really supports that technical bounce we talked about.
That's the idea. The technicals showed the bounce. The fundamentals provide the why it might be sustainable. One of the most profitable, innovative companies out there.
Okay, so wrapping this up then. Our deep dive into these sources suggests Apple looks strong from both angles right now. You've got that key technical bounce from a confluence zone, trading within that bullish channel.
Right, and that's backed up by strong fundamentals. Services growth booming, AI excitement building, big buybacks, and just incredible financial health.
So the analysis points towards potential for more upside.
Definitely looks that way according to these sources, which leads to maybe a final thought for you to consider.
Okay.
Given this mix, the technical momentum, the fundamental strength, especially with AI and services really driving things, what does this analysis suggest about how these huge established tech giants can keep finding new ways to grow even when the market's changing so fast?
How do the giants keep innovating and finding growth?
Yeah.
That's a great question to ponder.